in the Premier League. Is that a seriously big win for you?
Very big.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. 1-0 to the Arsenal, the famous chant, and today it well and truly rings true. Sounds so good. Finally, the record is off of our backs as well. No wins away at the Big Six for such a long time. Well, we have put that to bed. Adrian, Clarke, how are you feeling?
Get in, boys. Absolutely brilliant. That was an accomplished away performance. Manchester United were made to look incredibly mediocre, and that was down to the attitude of the players, the organisation of the team, from the coaches. The tactics were spot on. The execution of the game plan was excellent, and this was no fluke. This was a thoroughly deserved 3-point haul, and we can kick on from here. This was a big day for Arsenal.
It was nervy at the end, though. You'd be lying to say if you weren't nervous at the end. We did the classic, we went 1-0 up, and we've spoke about this on so many occasions on the Breakdown Live. We sit back and we invite pressure, and it's been our undoing in a few games in the past, but not today.
No, it's human nature, isn't it? When everybody involved knew what a big result this would be, and I think the last 10 minutes, it was kind of natural that we'd sit back and look to soak up the pressure. But look, how many saves did Bernd Leno have to make in that game? He made one with his head, which was a slice of good fortune, wasn't it, when it deflected off of El Neni? But yeah, we protected Bernd Leno quite brilliantly today. I tweeted before the game, I said, looking at this team, we need massive performances from Gabriel and Rob Holding at the back, and from Partey and El Neni sat in front. If those four have a strong performance, or all have strong performances, we can keep a clean sheet here, and that's exactly what happened. Those four were the bedrock of a famous win.
And you mentioned to get the victory, we'd need to keep a clean sheet, and that's exactly what we did. Clean sheet, and we got the victory.
Yes, I mean I said before the game, look, if we keep a clean sheet, we've got a fantastic chance of winning the game, and so it proved. We went with a clean sheet mentality, but it wasn't park the bus on the edge of our own box. We were proactive. We were aggressive. We won the ball inside Manchester United's half and in around the halfway line all game long. Less in the second half. In the first half, we were really assertive. After half time, we dropped back a little bit and we allowed Manchester United to come on to us, but we soaked it up. And Manchester United, it's a known fact that when they come up against a low defensive block, they don't like it. Second half, we dropped deep. They had 60% of the ball. What did they create, really? Not a great deal. Yes, we were nervous. Of course we were. But this was tactically a great performance from Arsenal.
Yep, and it summed up perfectly on social media. Lots of Arsenal fans happy at last, because it's been a bit of a downer for Arsenal fans online. We can see one here from Joe saying, for Joe's summary is this: 1, great hungry attitudes from the lads. 2, I'm loving the aggression and decent passes, defensive spot on. 3, I would like to see more strong shots from distance from Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka. Overall, a job well done. Hashtag forever forward. Hashtag come on, you Gunners. Yeah, I think Thomas Partey's mentioned there. Great game for Thomas Partey.
Yeah, look, he stepped in, didn't he? Stepped up to the plate. All eyes have been on Thomas Partey since he joined the club. He was brilliant, I thought, against Rapid Vienna. He was kind of bypassed a little bit in the Leicester game. It must have been very frustrating for him. But look, we saw what he's about tonight. And look, you sort of close your eyes, but you sort of blur your eyes and you think, there is so much of Vieira about him. There really is, in terms of his stature, his power, his grace on the ball, the way that he wins the ball back. Today, he won the ball back unbelievably well, Thomas Partey. It was quite fantastic the way that he just stuck a shoulder in on some of the Manchester United players to regain the ball, and then he moved it forward quickly. The regains were off the scale, really, from him. But it wasn't just him. Gabriel, I think no one made more tackles than Gabriel, who was immense. And those two guys, new signings, first game against Manchester United at Old Trafford in an Arsenal shirt, stepped up to the plate, didn't they? Great to see.
Very much so, very much so. Right, let's move on to what we've learned from this evening's performance then. Let's have a look at the first thing. that we've taken from it. Mo Elneny's Arsenal revival continues with another stellar performance. What a game Elneny had. Lots of love on social media for Mo as well. Carl says, what a turnaround for Elneny. Again, he's been superb so far today. Got another one from Anto saying, I thought Elneny was the best player on the pitch. He's running the show for Arsenal. And we've got one here from Daniel who says, it's all about Elneny's reading and engine, being great at breaking up the play and being available for the pass. He's grease in the toothpaste, allows us to squeeze the pitch just that little bit faster. Interesting analogy at the end there. I can't say I've heard that one before, but just on Elneny, even in the kind of 92nd minute, there was a moment where Manchester United had possession of the ball and he was on the other side of the pitch and he, came herring down, closed down the play, and it caused another unforced error. Man United put the ball out for an Arsenal throw-in and they never got another opportunity after that.
Look, he was brilliant. He really was. The highest compliment I can pay him is that I would hate to play against him. If I was a central midfielder up against Mo Elneny, it would be a nightmare because he's such a pest. He gets in your face. He closes you down with real aggression. And he blocks off those passing lines tremendously well. I thought he was outstanding. He really was brilliant in terms of his discipline, his determination. He kind of set the tone really for the overall performance with the way that he got around that injury room. Only two in there, remember? Two players, really, in essence. Elneny and Partey. Manchester United have four. They're four. It was a midfield diamond, and those two shut them off completely. And Elneny, the revival continues. Look, right now, and I never thought I'd say this, and I don't think many Arsenal fans thought they'd say this, but right now, if Mikel Arteta, everyone's fit, you pick your strongest team for a cup final, Mo Elneny's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd agree with you. And, we were talking at half time about Partey and Elneny. Surely that's the midfield two going forward now in the Premier League.
Well, in the short term, at least. Obviously, you've got to maintain your form, and there might be occasions where we chuck at one of the other guys in, Xhaka and Ceballos, to make the three, and we lose the wing back. I would still like us to see use 4-3-3 more often than not. Today it was a day for the back three, the back five, wasn't it? And I felt that's our big game formula, and it worked a treat, just as it did against City, just as it did against Chelsea. Mikel Arteta seems to have nailed it. It didn't quite come off for us at the Etihad, at Anfield. We stayed in those games without really hurting the opposition. Today we had more of a threat. And we took, that one chance we had in the second half to make something happen. Hector Bellerin, of all people, gets himself into the box. It's desire. We talked about that, didn't we? The importance of committing bodies in the opposition 18-yard box. That's where you score your goals. Yeah. That's where you win penalties. And Hector Bellerin made the run. He took a chance and he drew a silly foul from Paul Pogba, who did the same thing against Tottenham a few weeks back. Ill-disciplined from Paul Pogba to make a lazy challenge like that in the box. And we made them pay. But it wasn't about that. We deserved to win this game irrespective of the penalty. We were the better team.
In the pre-match show, all this talk about penalties, and how Mike Dean hasn't awarded them to us over the years. And we're at Old Trafford, where it's notoriously difficult to get a penalty if you're the away team. And here we are celebrating a 1-0 win based on a penalty given to us, which was a penalty. It was a definite penalty.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, look, we set it up perfectly, didn't we? Mike Dean had given United 18 penalties. He's given Arsenal just 6. So he's redressed. Maybe someone just whispered in his ear at halftime and said, look, we've just seen this stat. You've got to put this right. Look, it was the right decision. It was a good decision from Mike Dean. I was worried about VAR overruling it, but you looked at the replays, absolutely no chance they could change that. And look, in a way, I'm disappointed that it's a penalty that's decided the game, because I don't feel that's worthy of this Arsenal performance, because especially in the first half, I think we probably should have scored once or twice just before half time, just to seal the deal. We had a couple of efforts, didn't we? The Aubameyang one, I thought was a good try from a turnover. Lacazette tees him up. He just sets the ball too wide, Aubameyang. But look, over the course of the 90 minutes, no one, not even a Manchester United fan, could argue that Arsenal didn't deserve to win that game. And look, I was checking social media during the game. a lot of journalists, a lot of people that I follow that know a lot about football. They were all praising this Arsenal performance. From early doors, they said Arsenal look really, really good today, and I agree completely.
Yeah, deserved victory. We had a game plan, we executed it, and we leave Manchester with the 3 points, which is lovely. Right, let's have a look at the second thing that we've learned from tonight's performance then. And it is this 3-4-3 still looks like our best formation against top 6 teams. Formation has been a big talking point for so long on this show. Andy here saying El Neni and Party have dominated. This 3-4-3, it looks effective against the big 6. And we've got one here from Tariq who says Arsenal dominating United completely. This 3-4-3, I should say, is killing United's diamond. Interesting that the formation changes so much for Arsenal depending on who we're playing. But then that's the modern manager, isn't it? Arteta very much is that guy. He adjusts the formation for who the opposition is, and today he got it right.
He did, yeah, and he adjusts in the game as well. It's a really fluid formation. At times we had a back four when we had the ball, for example, but less so today. It really was primarily a back three. It worked today brilliantly because they had 2 up front. And what we could do is to say to Holding and to Tierney or Gabriel, get tight, get as tight as you like, because we've got that spare man, that man behind you. If they roll you, if something goes wrong, we've got someone to cover. So it allowed 2 of our 3 centre backs to be aggressive, and that's what they like to do. We know that. All of them actually, Holding, Tierney, and Gabriel, they like to get tight to their opposite numbers, and what that did, it shut off the service. The midfield had nowhere to go. They couldn't really pass to anybody. They couldn't go down the sides because our shape was so good as well. It completely nullified Fernandes, who is virtually anonymous. Pogba had a lot of the ball, but all of it was deep or wide. It was very well executed, the game plan. I think that I said a few weeks ago that Mikel Arteta, I wouldn't swap him for any of our rivals, outside the top 2, Klopp and Guardiola. We know that they're elite coaches. I'm not saying I'd swap him for them either, but I said that Arteta is the next best coach out of the big teams. He's better than Lampard. He's better than Solskjaer in terms of tactically. Mourinho's having a good time at the moment, but in the modern day, I think Arteta would over the long haul trump him as well. So look, I think that today was a good day for Mikel Arteta, and look, he kind of needed it, didn't he, after the Leicester defeat and the City and the Liverpool narrow defeats as well. So he will be chuffed to bits today, Mikel Arteta. He got it right, and Ollie, I'm afraid, got it wrong. And let's think about United. I know this isn't a United show, but what did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do to change things? What did he do tactically to get around what Arsenal were doing to nullify them? Nothing. He had nothing.
Yeah, it was like for like the subs they made, really, weren't they? They didn't really change the game, and it remained comfortable for us, even though, as already alluded to, the last 10 minutes were anything but comfortable.
That wasn't about tactics. Sometimes you forget tactics. It's just about heart and courage and being resilient, and that's what the last 10 minutes was. We were nervous, but players looked okay. They looked in control.
Yeah, and it always makes me, I guess, laugh really when ex-players like yourself and Nigel Winterburn, who know what it's like to be in that position where you're playing in games and you're holding on to a 1-goal kind of lead going into the last couple of minutes, you're being bombarded. But even you guys are still nervous when you're watching. So that gives me a little bit of...
More nervous than if we were playing. I'm telling you that now. The players, you enjoy it almost. You kind of relish those moments, digging deep, working hard as a unit, because you forget, they're individuals, but it's all about the team ethic. And there's so much satisfaction to be taken from wins like this, where you're gritty on the road. No one beats us. Look, we both played under George Graham, myself and Nigel, and that was what it was all about. Go away from home, clean sheet mentality, nick it. Let's go home with the 3 points. Thank you very much.
Yep. Right, let's have a look at the third and final thing that we've learned from tonight's performance then, and it's this. Summer signings help us end our top 6 away jinx. It feels so good to say that. It's a stat that's been haunting us for so long. And I imagine online, this is just a selection of the many tweets.
Monster classes, I like that.
Thomas Partey and Gabriel are 2 signings. having absolute monster classes at Old Trafford. That's money well spent right there. Very much so. Tomo saying the security party and Gabriel offer heart eyes emoji. I'd have added more heart eyes emojis to that, that's for sure. And to the max, Manchester United fans saying, mind how everyone has been banging on about Arsenal not winning away against the top six. You just knew, didn't you? You knew it would be us. Lovely jubbly. That feels, especially because, the rivalry, as we've, already said on the show, it's not as fierce as it may have been, in the early noughties, late 90s, but you still want to beat Manchester United away at Old Trafford.
Oh, of course you do. Yeah, of course you do. It's a big, big game. And look, come the end of the season, they are very likely to be rivaling us for a place in the top four. So to take 3 points off them is huge. That's why the Leicester defeat was such a choker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Losing to City and Liverpool, it's less of a big deal in my opinion, because I think they'll be well clear of us, unfortunately, by the end of the season. So today, in the context of our campaign, this is a monumental 3 points. Look, think about the fixture list. We were dealt a pretty tough hand for the opening few weeks of the campaign. City away, Liverpool away, Manchester United away, and Leicester at home. So look, at least we've got one win out of those. It's been challenging, but today, and to get back to the point of the slide, yes, I completely concur with it. Gabriel and Partey, our summer signings, our big summer recruits, they made the difference today. I think they showed that they will help Arsenal be far more solid down the spine of the pitch. It's so important in these big games to be resolute and powerful and athletic down the middle of the pitch. And Gabriel and Thomas Partey gave everybody around them so much confidence today by their actions, and their actions were so assertive. They played like they played a dozen of these big top six games in the Premier League, but it's new to them, and it didn't look like it was new to them. So it bodes really, really well for the future.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Right, before we finish up then this evening, we need to deal with a question of stats, normally part of the show that I hate because I'm last. I think Dan Roebuck might still be with us. Dan, are you there? Maybe not. Maybe he'll join us shortly. But right, the question that we were asking was total number of fouls. What did you say, Adrian?
23.
You said 23. I think I said 24, didn't I? And
Dan was 29, was he? 28, 29?
He was above anyway. It doesn't matter because the total number of fouls was 24. Bang on. I've managed to score some points in question of stats. I can't believe it. I'm so happy.
I'm pleased for you, mate. I'm chuffed to bits for you. So 3 points for the Arsenal and 3 points for Nick Bright. Wow. Lockdown's going to be okay for you tonight, isn't it? Not a problem.
That's what. What? I forgot all about it. Also, the 3 points for Arsenal. Who cares? Question of stats. I've got myself 3 points. That's all that matters. So that puts me somewhere on the leaderboard. I'm sure we'll have it. I think you're still in the lead, Adrian, but I think myself and Dan, we might be tussling it out, basically not to come last. I think he might be in last position, but we'll get the definitive numbers for you on the next show. Right, Adrian, thank you very much for your company this evening. A 1-0 victory. Very, very sweet indeed. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back for Europa League action on Thursday. And it continues Ole Gunnar Solskjaer theme almost, because it's the team that he was managing before he joined Manchester United. Molde are our opponents at the Emirates Stadium. Make sure you join us at around 7:30 p.m. on Arsenal.com for an 8 p.m. kickoff. We'll see you then.